looks like him. All it out. Wait here.
Ragan.
Ludo. How did you get in here?
You know, I've always had a soft spot for you, Ragan.
Why don't you learn to conduct your business at a decent hour?
Habit.
That's one you gotta get out of. What do you want?
Aren't you surprised to see me?
Why should I be? You turn up every 5 years just like the plague.
Well, at any rate, I'm very happy to see you. Ragan, I got a job for you. A very important, good-paying job.
I've got a job.
This time we're well organized, well financed. I can assure you this time we are ready.
You got so much money, why don't you invest it? You always go into business, peddling dope to school children.
We're ready to return, Ragan.
Why don't you leave that little two-bit island alone, Veludo?
That little two-bit island is my country.
Then let it struggle into 20th century without you and Moreno.
And what about Chavez?
All right, you're right. Yeah, maybe Chavez is the worst, but it's not worth tearing up the whole country just to get rid of him.
There was a time when you believed in our cause.
There was a time I used to believe in ghosts.
Moreno never had a chance. We were betrayed by the military, by Chavez. Ragan, the people need us.
People need a rest, Veludo. Where's Moreno?
Waiting, ready to return.
That's the trouble with being up on top. You have no place to go. You know, I can just see you behind your big black ebony desk. What is it, Minister of Security? What a wonderful job for a twisted talent like yours.
You're involving yourself in petty administrative detail. It's both unnecessary and unbecoming. I came to offer you a job.
I've told you I've got one.
$50,000, all expenses.
What'd you do, rob a bank?
10,000 to be deposited to your account the moment the bank opens at 9 o'clock this morning. The balance in a certified check to be paid upon completion of your job.
Not enough.
Fine. Fine. We can dispense with further bargaining. The arrangement pays 75,000. No discussion, no picketing.
Look, Valuto, I'm tired of being hustled. I'm out of the mercenary business.
What business are you in, then? Hauling chickens and peasants over the mountains?
You're showing your contempt for the people.
Mid-Caribbean Air Transport. Oh, $17,500. You've lost money every month of the 19 months you've been in business. How much longer do you think you can last?
Appreciate your interest in my welfare, Valuto. I'll make out all right.
Ragan, the beleaguered businessman. It's not like you.
Yeah. Well, that's those fringe benefits I enjoy, like sleeping at night.
Am I to believe that your heart suddenly flows over with the milk of human kindness? Ragan, the repentant sinner.
Have your fun, Valuto. But I'm tired of killing. Seems like you'd have a case of the occupational boredom by now.
Words. 75,000. You can't afford to turn it down. A week of your time. When you get back, your problems are over. What do you say?
I say you got the wrong man.
You don't even know where the job is.
I can guess. Coordinating air attacks on the pilots, bombing, strafing, wiping out communications. You probably bought yourself some Piper Cubs and want me to train some 15-year-old zealots to be combat pilots in a week.
Not quite. There's no Air Force involved. No bombing, no strafing, a minimum of violence. I need only one pilot.
Why me?
Because you're the best for the job. Short field landings in rugged terrain.
Run along, Valuto. I've got some peasants to fly across the mountains.
All right. The decision is yours. I'll be at the Hotel Flores if you should change your mind. I'll be there until noon tomorrow.
Don't hold your breath.
Goodbye, Ragan.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ragan. I don't know what happened.
It's all right. I'm not angry.
I was revving up the engines. There must have been a leak somewhere. Maybe a short circuit. Remember I had a leak in number 2 last month? Suddenly I looked. It was on fire. I couldn't get it out.
Accidents happen all the time.
Well,
I just hope you got enough money. This should take care of it.
You fill this policy out perfectly. Now let's see, that's number 764321. Just a moment, please. I'm sorry, but this policy is no longer in force. It's been canceled.
What do you mean, canceled? I paid up my premium for last month.
I don't know, Mr. Ragan, but as you can see, it has been canceled.
Who's in charge of this office?
Mr. Gomez, but he's busy.
Will you tell Mr. Gomez he better see me, and right now?
Mr. Ragan, go right through that door. I'm really sorry, Mr. Ragan.
Mr. Gomez?
I've only got a few minutes, Mr. Ragan.
That's all the time I'll take.
Sit down.
I talk better standing up. What's this about my policy being canceled?
That is right, Mr. Ragan. We canceled it 2 days ago and refunded your premium, and it came to, $876. It was mailed yesterday.
Tell me, why was it canceled?
If you will read Clause 9, Paragraph 2A, you will find that we don't have to pay on arson, Mr. Ragan.
Who told you that?
That's none of your business, Mr. Ragan.
Now, look, I just had my plane burned up. I come in here and find my policy's been canceled, And you say it's none of my business. Now who?
Our sources are confidential. That is how we work in the insurance business.
Now you tell your confidential source that it's not confidential what I'm gonna do to him when I catch up with him. Let's say this is a little on account.
Oh, Ragan. Do come in. Oh.
You push me again and I'll kill you.
I need you, Ragan.
All right, you got me. But it's gonna cost you. Well, Ludo, you're too smart. I come a little more expensive. You owe me for the price of an airplane. They canceled my insurance.
You'll get your plane.
What about the bank? It's open now.
It's been taken care of.
I underestimated you, Veludo.
You'll take the 3 o'clock plane to Mataraz. Somebody will contact you there.
How would he recognize me? Should I wear a carnation?
I sent a photograph. You pick up the plane and bring it here to San Javier, to the far eastern range of the field.
Is that where you're holed up?
That's where we're based. Our contacts are here and there.
What happens then?
Then we free Moreno.
You mean they got Moreno, huh?
He's in protective custody, under house arrest. That's all I can tell you now. Except for the fact that it won't be easy.
But you told me everything was all right. There wasn't any danger.
There's always a premise that nothing is sure.
Expecting trouble from Chavez?
I underestimate no one. And Chavez is a very shrewd man. I work on the premise that something always goes wrong.
Yes. He might even offer me more money.
That's not one of my problems. You have a certain integrity. One other thing. The plane will have to be modified. You'll be picking up a passenger in Mataraz.
Kohler?
Yes. After all, he is the best.
What about Janine?
Mrs. Kohler may be coming in with him as far as Mataraz. I don't know. After all, that's his problem. Or does she still bother you?
Have a nice trip, Mr. Ragan. We'll board in 10 minutes.
Thank you.
We don't have reservations. You have 2 seats available, Mataraz?
Let me see, sir. To Mataraz.
Yes. No, you fool, not this one. I need this one. Would you please take care of my medicines? You know I get sick in planes. Seats 1A and B, please.
I'm sorry, sir, but I don't have 2 together. I only have separate seats.
I told you I didn't want to go to Mataraz today. I don't feel well. I don't like flying, and I can't get the seats I want.
You get sick in any seat. What's the difference?
The least you could do is try to be helpful. Please, the 2 seats you have. And let me have my medicine.
Hello, Mr. Ragan. You're in seat number 3 on your left. Hope you have a good trip, Mr. Ragan.
There's a good chance I will, the way things are looking up.
Yeah, sure.
Will you be comfortable here?
I'm sure not. Give me my pills.
Would you like to sit next to the window?
No, thanks. It's my first trip on a plane.
You better fasten your seatbelt. Your seatbelt. What's this you're reading? I don't think I've ever read this one. Night of Passion. What's your name?
Maria.
Traveling with your uncle?
He is my uncle. You don't think so?
Sure. He's a nice, fine old gentleman.
He's not so old.
No, he's prime of life. Big barrel outdoor type. Traveling to Materas?
Yes, we are going visiting. Uncle has some commercial interests there.
So you're just along for the trip, huh? A real tight-knit family.
Yes.
Hi.
This way, please.
Do you
This way.
Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon, sweetie. Welcome to Madras. Thank you.
Lovely little thing, isn't she? I'm Flower. I'm here to meet you.
Flower?
Yes, I know, old chap. It seems I was rather delicate as a child. Shall we go? Do you mind driving? I find it quite confining.
Well, I hope that we're on the same side, aren't we?
Possibly.
How long you known Valudo?
Several months now. We met in London at one of his fundraising drives.
What did you contribute? Yourself?
Precisely.
Compensation?
One hopes.
I suppose you know what's going on.
Yes, indeed, old man.
What's your part in this? All right. At least tell me what's your part in it.
I'm afraid my motor's rather shoddy, old man. I have an impoverished estate in a wretched state of disrepair. In a word, then, money.
Impoverished estate.
I'm afraid so. One of the last blooms of another more golden England. The 9th Earl of Kippendom.
I think we're being followed. Chavez?
One would suspect so. No blasted manners.
Now what?
Anyone for tennis?
they would like to play.
Maybe.
C-47. The Phase E's out 6 years ago.
Well, what do you think?
Should have been given a decent burial. The loot has been taken.
Not really, old man. One might even say that Valuta did the taking. I believe he persuaded one to shove his pilot's defect.
During gunnery practice, I see.
Yes. Unfortunately, he couldn't persuade the anti-aircraft chappies at the base.
What happened to the pilot?
Poor fellow. Did his duty, then I regret to say, passed on. Got the ship in, but didn't live long enough to be congratulated. Amazing.
Hydraulic system's all shot up. The motor seems to be in pretty good shape. Anybody looked at it?
I'm afraid not, old man. It might arouse a lot of curiosity, you know. I did, however, anticipate the hydraulic problem.
Well, let's have a look.
I'm not very clever with my hands. Rather a family trait, I'm afraid.
Let's have a nightcap.
I'd love to, but I'm due at the airport.
Give the Colas my love, will you?
Ciao.
Where's the rest of the family?
He's in the men's room, being sick.
I guess the champagne didn't agree with him.
Nothing agrees with him. Not even him. The lobster was tainted. Flambe burnt. The wine, acidy. He has delicate stomach. Absolutely upset. His head hurts. His joints are swollen. His ankles are swollen, too. He's not a man. He's a disease.
Is that any way to talk about your relatives?
Let's go. I have the chills.
We just got here. I don't want to go upstairs.
I have a terrible fever. Don't argue with me.
You go up. It's still a little early for me.
All right, but you'll be up soon. Don't forget I have to be awakened for my medicine.
I wouldn't want you to miss your medicine for anything in the world.
Oh, you're aggravating me. Have you no compassion? Can't you see I'm a sick man?
Well, you'd better get upstairs as soon as possible before you have another attack, then.
Don't stay up too late. This night air is no good for you.
He should be in a glue factory.
Am I invited?
Anyone with a pulse is invited.
Delicate family.
Please don't speak about that. What are you doing here?
On business.
Business? Everybody has business.
That's what keeps us out of trouble. Cheers.
Why did I let myself be talked into this?
You know very well, money. Remember the wonderful life you promised me 5 years ago?
Stop it, Janine. Didn't take you long to run through everything I had.
No, money is not the real reason.
Sure, I know. I've often wondered, would it be different if Ragan were dead?
Are we back on that again?
5 years ago, when you suddenly decided you would marry me, you said as far as you were concerned, Ragan was dead. But I've spent 5 years living with you and him.
Forget him.
That's easy for me. But can you?
That's quite humorous, old fellow.
What?
I seem to sense that you're not, shall we say, a devoted admirer of Mr. Ragan.
What's he got to do with this?
Ask her. She knows.
Well,
I guess you might as well know. Ragan is part of this deal.
Ragan? What if I refuse to go through with it?
Oh, Feludo, I think, might successfully convince you, old man. After all, you did accept his down payment.
And if I fail? And Ragan gets killed?
I would say such thoughts are frightfully dangerous. In that case, I'm afraid you would join him. I wouldn't entertain the thought, old fellow.
So you came to see him? It wasn't for the money.
Bright, aren't you?
Your uncle should see us now. Maybe I should be more formal.
No.
Is Uncle the jealous type?
When he's not sick.
He probably gets very violent.
He can be. Fortunately, he's in his oxygen tent right now.
Don't you find it a little crowded in here? Let's go. Looks a little crowded in here, too.
Sorry, old man. Business. You know the colors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was leaving anyway.
I'll take you to your room.
No, it's quite all right. I'm just down the hall. 242. Good night. Good night.
I guess it's in order to welcome you here. Kohler?
Ragan?
I'm afraid it was my idea waiting for you here. I wanted to surprise you. And now, look what I've done.
Up to your little jokes, huh, Janine?
Well, aren't you going to kiss me after 5 years?
Go ahead. Little enough compensation.
Shut up.
Could we perhaps dispense these small histrionics? We have a good deal of ground to cover before morning.
I'm ready.
I'm going. I'll be in my room.
Sit down, gentlemen.
Really, old man, wouldn't you have done better to leave her with the kiddies?
There are no kiddies. Anyway, she always does what she wants. Feludo didn't have anything to say. take it up with him.
Okay, gentlemen. Let's get down to work.
What kind of work?
Oh, you know. Wing configurations, flap angles, drag, stall speed, propeller bite. That sort of thing.
None of that's got anything to do with me. I only fly the plane, and I fly better when I've had some sleep. If you gentlemen don't mind.
Well taken. Come along then, Cola. We'll go to my room.
Don't you believe in knocking?
I didn't have to. You left this in the door.
How careless of me. You make it a habit of going into people's rooms uninvited?
I thought you might be expecting me.
I was, 5 years ago.
I made a mistake, Lee.
No, you didn't.
Oh, it's really stupid. We've lost 5 years.
That's not all we lost, Janine.
You're saying there's nothing there, but I don't believe you. 5 years ago, I tried to set the conditions. No more conditions. I just want you. We never played games. I'm being honest.
Honest, but a little trampy.
I married him out of spite. Do I have to tell you that?
You don't have to tell me anything.
It was never right. I'm going to leave him.
Did you tell him that?
No. Lee. That's cruel.
Finish one thing before you start something else.
I want to stay with you. I need you.
What else are you selling? Your husband timed it just right. In the bathroom.
Compliments of Senor Verdugo.
Bring it in. Get out of here.
Ragan, here. I heard the shot, and I saw you running. I thought you might need some help. What happened?
Man had an accident. Ran into a loaded gun. Where are we going?
Uncle's got a vacant house he's trying to sell. You can hide there.
That's nice of Uncle. For once, he's been a help instead of a hindrance.
There are very few good things about my uncle. But you wouldn't understand.
I appreciate your help, Maria, but what's in it for you?
We started something earlier, and I hate unfinished business.
Won't this thing go any faster?
thought you might want to see the place.
Well, I've seen it. You know, it's funny how we got together. Same plane, same hotel, same bar. And you waiting for me when I was running out of the hotel. I would say that's quite a series of coincidences, wouldn't you?
What a wonderful imagination you have.
Yeah. Sometimes it even runs away with me.
Are you looking for a cigarette? Oh, I just keep that for my self-preservation. May I have it back?
Sure, here. I was just curious. You know, we have something in common. I have one, too. Same as yours. In fact, I think I got mine the same place you got yours.
What makes you so sure?
The serial numbers. They're only one number apart. I picked mine up from a shipment I was taking in.
It's been lovely. Really been lovely, Ragan.
You wouldn't shoot me. Not after all we've been through.
Why not?
Now, who's Uncle?
Here. You look like a clumsy cowboy. Please, kindly give your gun to my niece. Or would you care to match your reflexes with a senile old man?
You seem to be in better health today than you were yesterday, Uncle.
Her, Uncle, please. Not yours. Yes, I am much better. I feel younger. Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
There's so much to tell, I don't know where to begin.
Why don't you begin when Beludo hired you? Oh, you needn't make it elaborate. All I want to know is what he hired you for and where he spends his time.
Would you believe it if I told you I didn't have an answer for either one of those questions?
No.
Then I'm stuck with making up an answer.
Let me put it this way. I work for a generous man, Mr. Ragan. Perhaps twice as generous as Mr. Beludo, shall we say.
The trouble is, Uncle, that you look twice as unreliable.
How much?
Money has nothing to do with it. It's a matter of security.
You can trust me.
Sure, but can we trust each other?
You won't help?
I'd like to help, but they don't give me any answers. I'm just a hired hand.
Where to, Governor? Wait one moment. You be the chauffeur. All right, James. Drive on. And James, drive very, very carefully. Lovely job. English. Mary, dear, why don't you check that lovely container on the floor for spirits? He might appreciate a drop or two.
Oh, thanks.
Oh. Futile, Mary, dear. And I'd suggest you do well to avoid theatrics. I have a tendency when aroused to lose my patience. And if that should happen, why, I might tear your little head right out of its socket before I know what I'm doing. Next turn to the left, James.
James?
A working arrangement. How's your head?
It hurts. You know, you're quite a vicious young lady.
She is indeed, old man. And this may interest you. They are uncle and niece.
Well, I'm beginning to believe it.
He here yet?
No.
Damn. Should have been here hours ago. Inside. Escort this family act to the aircraft. Getting late.
I better get the engines primed.
Where have you been? And what's she doing here?
We've been trying to lose the police. They wanted to hold Janine for questioning. It seems she was seen coming out of your room just after the shot was fired.
Complications. Another female. Beginning to look like Noah's Ark.
What other female?
Mr. Ragan's sometime friend turned deadly enemy. Well, you'll have to come along too, I suppose. The police. Did you lose them?
I don't think so.
Some sort of warming up process necessary?
When I got the time.
Just tell me.
We'll make it.
What happened?
I lost an engine. It'll be all right. If I can get it started again.
Isn't there something one should do?
Get a parachute. Stall speed 96 at full flaps. Turn 3,000.
That's better. What's the field altitude?
5,000 feet.
That means I've got to reshape the tailing engines. Build new flaps. Then we got to try her out.
How long will it take?
That depends. Take it to 5,000.
You know, if somebody let me know where we're going, that might help out.
This is where you'll bring the plane in. The length of the landing field is identical to the practice strip. Map coordinates south 210, east 443. Field altitude 4,872 feet.
Why don't you steal a helicopter?
Because they'd shoot a helicopter down, but they don't think a plane can land. That's the reason we need you, Ragan.
What's my prevailing wind?
Normally southeasterly, 5 to 10 knots, but undependable due to the mountainous terrain.
What am I taking in?
30 men, fully armed.
What's my payload?
2,000 pounds, not including gas.
That means I can get 30 in, but I can't get them out.
You lose half of them.
I only take in what I can get out. That's 12 men.
Then we'll have to rely on the element of surprise. You'll have only one shot for the landing.
That's what I'm being paid for.
You'll never get it out. Not the way it is.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
Yes.
What if I run into trouble and can't get out of there?
Then you walk, crawl, get out any way you can, so long as you bring Moreno back and bring him back alive.
Then the revolution, huh, Valudo? I guess the military's been seduced and all paid off.
That's crude, Ragan. After all, money is not everything. It's people that make revolutions, not money. People like Borrell.
Borrell? Yeah. Isn't he one of those little guys who calls all the shots, sort of the power behind the power?
Precisely. As a matter of fact, he's our guest.
Uncle?
Uncle.
And you use me as bait? You owe me a bonus for that rap on the head.
You got it. Before the bump on the head.
How does Borrell fit in? He's on the other team. You don't expect him to change sides.
Better than that.
How's that?
I have business to attend to, Ragan, so if you'll excuse me. Ragan, another thing. I'd leave Kohler alone if I were you. Senor Borrell, I just thought I'd drop in and welcome you personally. I didn't have a chance to say goodbye 5 years ago.
You left in such a hurry that I really didn't get to treat you as I had anticipated.
No hard feelings. A man wins and a man loses. But I'm not a gracious loser, so I never really lose. As a matter of fact, there's no reason why you should lose this time either.
And that means?
Why do you work for Chavez? You know that people don't like him.
And since when did you start worrying about the people?
I've learned. You can't ignore them all the time. That's one mistake I'll never make again. It's possible to fulfill your ambitions and still keep them happy. Moreno is a dreamer, but he's honest. He'll see that they get their share.
Veludo, I don't like you. I want no part of you. Chavez may be what you say he is, but I think I can do better for our people than you. At least Chavez listens to me.
Then why are they so willing to join us? Face it, Borrell, you're on the losing side. Nothing can stop me. Once I get Moreno out, we'll take over the country with or without bloodshed. It's up to you. Don't be stubborn.
You'll never get him out. And if you value his life, forget it.
You're a fool, Borrell. You should have killed him when you had the chance. Now it's too late. We'll get him out alive. Ragan will see to that.
Then Ragan is a fool, too.
Perhaps. But he's the best man for the job. But we're not discussing Ragan. I want to make a deal.
I wouldn't believe you, even if your life depended on it.
Not mine. Yours. Now, let's be reasonable. You're now Prime Minister. We can make you Secretary of State. You do a wonderful job.
I'd rather die.
That's the easy way. I won't let you die. Now, will you let me behave like a gentleman?
You don't frighten me.
I came to reason with you, not frighten you. All I want you to do is to let the people know that you're on our side. You'll save a lot of lives. And I promise you, you won't regret it.
You are a liar, Veludo.
My patience has a limit, Borrell.
I am ready for the firing squad.
You'll wish for it before I'm through with you.
Go to hell, Veludo.
I hoped I could convince you nicely.
Help me, please. One side or the other. Chavez or Moreno. What does it matter to you?
It doesn't. Moreno just came up with the money. Forget it, Maria.
What did you come for?
Just to make sure you're all right.
How decent of you. Don't you think I know they're going to put me against the wall?
No, they won't. They won't do that, I promise you.
A promise. A promise from Veludo to you means nothing. Please, Ragan, help me to get away. Help me.
Maria,
I
look.
won't forget.
I would if I could, but this whole place is surrounded by...
Veludo wants to see you.
Be back.
Gentlemen?
I promised you entertainment after dinner.
Ah, lovely. Cartoons, I hope.
Infinitely more enjoyable.
My fellow countrymen, I speak to you now on a matter of great importance. President Chavez has asked me to read this message to the nation. In the best interest of our country, I have this day resigned my oath of office. I have asked our distinguished countryman, General Moreno, to fill the office of the presidency, and he has graciously accepted. Now, it is my wish that each and every one of you join our new leader, as I do, in a spirit of selfless cooperation. Only by doing so can we ensure the progress of the nation. I leave you confident and secure that our destinies are guided by President Moreno.
Well?
Politics.
What do you think?
I like cartoons.
How does one please? If I had shot him, you would have called me a barbarian.
In this case, you would have classified it as a mercy killing.
20th century politics. Why kill your enemy if he can function for you? Borel is well 3 divisions now.
Your Excellency, there's been an accident.
Well, there go your 3 divisions, Voluto.
We'll be ready to test by morning.
Will it fly?
Of course.
What time?
Dawn, if you like.
All right.
Oh, Ragan. Tell Janine I'll be working all night.
Anything else? Your husband sends his best. Says he'll be working all night.
Lee, I have to talk to you.
There's nothing I like better than finding beautiful women in my bedroom. But Janine, you and I have gone through all this.
Are you in love with this girl?
Why?
Then let's leave. Tomorrow morning. Tonight.
That ought to be cozy. You, me, and Kohler.
I'm leaving him.
Tell him, don't tell me. I've got to get some sleep. We're testing in the morning.
Lee, I don't want you to be killed. He says you haven't got a chance.
Then he knows something I don't. I figure my odds are 3 to 1.
Oh, why? Why go through with it? You don't owe Voluto anything.
It's what he owes me.
What good's the money going to do?
That coming from you?
That coming from me.
When I make a deal, I keep it.
Your damn pride.
Yeah. Now, why don't you run along and let me get some sleep? Your husband just might not work all night.
Well?
Stall speed's down to 68. The controls are a little soft.
When did it start?
65 on down.
What's your tax setting?
1850.
5% high. How about lateral stability?
Oh, not bad. Until I get to full flaps. Then it starts to slip a little.
How much work?
A few hours. I know what it is.
I hope so. Ragan, get everything ready. It has to be now.
What do you mean?
I mean, we ran out of time. The girl got away. She got to San Javier before we could recover her. I don't believe she made any contact, but I couldn't take that chance.
You butcher.
She had a choice and she chose to be silent.
You mean she didn't tell you what you wanted to hear, so you killed her? That wasn't part of our deal.
The deal changed when she got away. Her life against my responsibility for tens of thousands. Don't go moral on me, Ragan. It had to be done.
Did it? Your dedication is nothing more than a license to kill.
You're right about one thing. My dedication. I'm not going to let anything stand in the way. You're committed, and we've run out of time. And remember, Ragan, if you should get any heroic ideas, I still have Mrs. Kohler.
Lee.
It's too late, Janine.
Aren't you being a little too obvious?
I'm sorry, Bill. You know how much I've tried.
Have you?
I love him, Bill.
Why didn't you tell me that 5 years ago?
Because I wasn't sure.
But you are now. Or you're just a little too late.
What the devil are you doing? Your responsibility's here.
Let's go. How long now?
About 20 minutes. How are your warriors back there?
Nervous.
And you?
Nervous.
Well, that makes us one big, happy, nervous family. We're going in. He's in full flaps.
Aquí estamos. Eso. Allí es. Eso es. Sí.
Excelencia, vamos.
Keep them warm. I'll be back.
Who are you?
We'll talk about that later. Let's get out of here.
Are you a friend of Veludo?
The price is right. There'll be more of them.
Now, what?
We make a run for it.
What are you doing?
We're getting out of here. Put this on.
No.
Now look, Marino, you don't push it over here, but you're a damn sight better than Chavez. Now put this on. You can remember, count to 3 and pull. Ready? Go!
I believe this fulfills our agreement. The $10,000 in advance and a certified check for $65,000 upon delivery. Thanks to you, Ragan, we are ready to enter the capital in the morning.
Congratulations.
General Moreno has asked if you would like to consider a position in his Air Force.
That's very nice of him. But I've got other plans.
Like jockeying beat-up planes on low-paying freight runs. Think it over, Ragan. You'll find me both appreciative and generous.
I've thought it over. My answer's still the same. I'm not saying your intentions are not good. But what about the homes you destroy and the people you hurt? They don't give a damn for your intentions.
You saved my life. It was your effort that enabled me to return to my people.
Agreed, General. I just wanted my $75,000, just like you wanted to be a hero. It all worked out to be the same.
The General is just trying to offer you something. It's as simple as that.
Something that might interest you.
Sorry. Answer's still the same. No.
I would like you to accept this with my gratitude. And I extend to you a permanent welcome to my people.
Appreciate that. When I come back, it's because they're pointing guns at you. And when those guns get big as cannons and you want to get out of the country, remember the price is still the same. $75,000. And a new airplane.
You're leaving now, Lee?
That's right.
Veluda said you may be going with them.
You know better than that. What about you?
I find that I suffer from incurable disease, my friend. Money. Veluda has promised me sufficient coin of the realm if I continue to see his point.
What about the girl?
Ah, yes. Mrs. Kohler. Been having a bit of a time of it, I'm afraid. She'll be leaving today. The devil knows where. I feel sorry for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they'll give you a new uniform to go with it. Take care.
Right. You too.
Come on. I'll give you a ride. Where are you going?
I don't know. Any airport. It doesn't matter.
Then what?
I don't know. London, Paris, Rome. What's the difference?
You ain't going nowhere.